5 times something has tried to end life on Earth. 5 times it has almost worked. Asteroid impacts. Volcanic eruptions sustained for millions of years. Oceans turning toxic. Ice covering the planet pole to pole. Events so catastrophic that they erased between 70 and 96% of every species alive at the time. 5 times, one animal watched it happen from underwater and survived every single one. You are looking at it right now, and you have almost certainly eaten one, the squid. An animal so ancient, so adaptable, and so precisely engineered for survival that it has outlasted the dinosaurs, the mosasaurs, the trilobites, the ammonites, and every apex predator that has ever tried to eat it. It existed before flowers, before trees as we know them, before the first animal walked onto land. And in 2024, scientists finally sequenced the squid genome completely. And what they found inside it explains not just how the squid survived, but why it will almost certainly outlast us too. But before we get to the genome, you need to understand what the squid actually is. Because the popular image is almost entirely wrong. Most people think of a squid as a simple sea creature, primitive, boneless. Basically a bag of ink with tentacles, the kind of thing that exists to be eaten by something more impressive. That picture is backwards. The squid is a cephalopod, a member of the most neurologically complex group of invertebrates that has ever existed. It has 3 hearts, blue blood, copper-based, which carries oxygen more efficiently in cold water than iron-based blood does. A distributed nervous system with 2/3 of its neurons located not in its brain but in its arms, meaning its arms can make decisions independently of its central nervous system. It can taste with its suckers, it can see polarized light, it can change not just color but skin texture in less than a second, matching surfaces with a precision that makes active camouflage systems we have spent decades trying to engineer look primitive by comparison. And it does all of this without a single bone in its body. The structural support for every movement, every hunt, every escape, provided entirely by pressurized fluid and muscle. An engineering solution so efficient that it has not required fundamental modification in 500 million years. 500 million years. The squid's basic body plan predates the dinosaurs by more than 250 million years. It was already ancient when the first land vertebrate dragged itself out of the ocean. Here is what the squid was doing during the 5 mass extinctions. The first, the end Ordovician, approximately 444 million years ago, roughly 85% of all species extinct. The cause? A brief but devastating ice age that dropped sea levels and froze the shallow marine environments where most complex life was concentrated. The squid's ancestors, the nautiloids and early cephalopods, survived by doing what they had always done. They moved. They went deeper. Cold water, low oxygen, reduced food. Conditions that devastated slower, more specialized animals were conditions the cephalopod nervous system was built to navigate. Their distributed cognition meant they could respond to environmental changes faster than almost any other animal alive. When the world froze, they went where it wasn't frozen yet. The second extinction, the late Devonian, approximately 375 million years ago. 75% of all species gone. Cause is still debated, most likely a combination of ocean anoxia, global cooling, and possibly extraterrestrial impact. The shallow marine environments, where the squid's competitors were concentrated, collapsed. The squid's ancestors were not concentrated in the shallow marine environments. They were everywhere. Deep water, open ocean, cold zones, warm zones. The generalist strategy that looked like an evolutionary weakness in stable times became an unbeatable advantage when stability ended. This is the pattern that appears in every extinction event in the squid's history. Not luck, not hiding. Active, intelligent adaptation to conditions that killed everything less flexible. The third extinction, the end Permian, 252 million years ago. The Great Dying, the largest mass extinction in the history of complex life. Between 90 and 96% of all marine species gone. The Siberian Trap's volcanic eruptions, a million years of sustained eruption, acidifying the oceans, stripping them of oxygen, raising temperatures beyond what most marine animals could tolerate. The squid survived, not by accident. The genome sequencing, completed in 2024, revealed something in the squid's DNA that researchers had not expected to find. The squid genome contains an unusually high number of rapidly evolving gene families, specifically the genes governing neural development, chromatophore function, and metabolic flexibility. Under normal conditions, these gene families evolve slowly. Under environmental stress, ocean acidification, temperature change, oxygen depletion, they evolve at rates that compress millions of years of normal evolutionary change into thousands. The squid does not just survive extinction events, it evolves through them. The catastrophes that end other lineages are, for the squid, evolutionary accelerators. But the most remarkable thing the genome revealed was not the speed of the squid's evolution. It was the mechanism, RNA editing. The squid can modify its own genetic code at the RNA level, after the DNA has been transcribed but before the proteins are built, in real time, in response to environmental conditions. Most animals are locked into the proteins their DNA encodes. The squid can change which proteins it builds, in which tissues, under which conditions, without permanently altering its underlying genome. This means the squid is doing something that until recently we believed only happened in controlled laboratory conditions. It is editing its own biology in response to its environment, not across generations, in real time, in the individual animal. Here is what that means for you specifically. Every genetic therapy, every RNA-based medicine, every attempt to modify biological function at the molecular level that human medicine has developed, the squid has been doing independently in the wild for 500 million years. We are just beginning to understand the mechanism. The squid has been using it as a survival tool since before the dinosaurs existed. We did not discover RNA editing and then find it in the squid. We found it in the squid and then spent decades working out why it was there. Fourth extinction, the end Triassic, 201 million years ago. Approximately 75% of species gone. The cause? Another massive volcanic event, the Central Atlantic Magmatic Province, which opened the Atlantic Ocean and spent 1 million years poisoning the atmosphere. The squid survived. And this time, when the recovery began, something new happened. The competitors that had kept cephalopods in check throughout the Paleozoic, the ammonites, which had dominated shell-bearing cephalopods for hundreds of millions of years, were devastated, and the squid, which had evolved away from external shells over millions of years prior, was suddenly in an ocean with dramatically less competition for the middle and upper water column. The squid did not just survive the end Triassic, it expanded into the space left by everything that died, the fifth extinction, the end Cretaceous, 66 million years ago. The asteroid, mosasaurs gone, marine reptiles gone, ammonites, which had survived the first 4 extinctions, finally gone. The ocean's food web restructured from the apex down. The squid not only survived, it inherited an ocean with its largest competitors eliminated. The post-Cretaceous ocean was, for the squid lineage, an open world. And what the squid did with that open world is why the oceans look the way they do today. Modern squid species collectively consume approximately the same mass of ocean prey as all human fisheries combined, every year. The squid is not a minor component of the ocean ecosystem. It is the engine of it. The primary prey for sperm whales, dolphins, seabirds, tuna, sharks. The primary predator of fish, crustaceans, and other cephalopods at multiple ocean depths simultaneously. And here is the detail: the 2024 genome study revealed that changes how you think about every extinction that is happening right now. The squid's RNA editing capability is not a fixed feature. It scales with environmental stress. The more extreme the conditions, the more acidic the water, the warmer the temperature, the lower the oxygen, the more aggressively the squid edits its own RNA. The worse the conditions become, the faster the squid adapts to them. The current ocean is warming, acidifying, losing oxygen in some zones. The exact conditions that have historically served as evolutionary accelerators for the squid lineage. Every previous extinction event produced a squid that was more capable than the one that went into it.